for your goal. It comes down to believing in yourself and your goal, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you a little story. So they call me the next Jimmy the Greek, and on that day, that became the overriding passion of my life, to literally replace Jimmy the Greek on national television. And so the news media goes to Jimmy the Greek, because this starts to snowball. And there's articles all over the country about this young guy that wants Jimmy the Greek's job. And they go to Jimmy the Greek and they say, what do you think of this young kid, Wayne Root, this 1977, I'm 16 years old.
Oh, no.
And Jimmy the Greek says, tell that kid that in every city, every town, every village in America, there's 1,000 kids that want to be Jimmy the Greek. Get in line. Fast forward a few years to 1989, and I'm a national TV anchor, the youngest one in America, and my general manager says, I'd like to invite you into my room. I'd like you to meet someone who we picked to be your co-host on national TV.
Oh, no!
And he opens the door and says, Wayne Root, meet Jimmy the Greek tonight. It's only in America can something like that happen. This is the greatest country in the world, as Don It's been a journey of big dreams, of wild risks, of amazing chutzpah. How many of you know what chutzpah means? Chutzpah, cojones. You know what I mean by that. Non-stop adversity, tenacity, commitment, passion. It's a story that literally defines the American dream. And what's great about it is, it's not just my story, because someday soon it's going to be your story, and your story, and your story. That's what's so great about America. Now, as I continue the story, kind of the punchline got broken a little bit by my good friend Jeffrey Combs. By the way, such a big thank you to Jeffrey and Erica, who are two of the best friends any human being can ever have in the whole world. When you have Jeffrey and Erica in your corner, you got it made. Trust me on that one. So, the honor of a lifetime happened on August 15th, 2006, just about 2.5 years ago, when I was awarded my own star on the Las Vegas Walk of Stars. As Jeffrey said, 31 people in the world have it. Wayne Newton, Elvis Presley, Dean Martin, Siegfried and Roy, Liberace, Bobby Darin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Wayne Allard. And it's for my lifetime of service representing and promoting the city of Las Vegas. My star, if you're ever visiting Las Vegas, my town, come on down to New York, New York, right in front of the ESPN zone on the sidewalk is one of the stars, and it says Wayne Allard, King of Vegas. And that's the nickname the press gave me. So I went from a kid, son of a butcher, without anything, in a blue-collar town in Mount Vernon, New York, to my own star, 180-pound granite star on the sidewalk in Las Vegas, anchorman sitting next to Jimmy the Greek. It's an incredible story, and it's been quite a journey. And how did it all start? With one single newspaper article that called me the next Jimmy the Greek. I really believed that article. Now, I want you to keep in mind that I'm a nice Jewish boy whose mom and dad thought there were only two occupations in life that made you a success. You have to be either a lawyer or a doctor. And if you're really slumming it, they might have accepted an accountant. Maybe. But I stand before you today as one of the most successful and well-known professional gamblers and odds makers in the world. And I'm often asked the question, Wayne, so how did a nice Jewish boy who was supposed to be a lawyer from Columbia University wind up as the most famous odds maker in America? And to answer that question, I'm going to quote from my beautiful daughter, who is now, by the way, 16 years old. But at the time she said this, she was 3 years old, going on 4. And after I tell you the story, I'll explain how a girl that was a week before being 4 years old could think like this. But we used to live in Malibu, California, on the beach, one of the most beautiful places in the world. Celebrities everywhere. And our favorite restaurant was called Taverna Tony's, which is a Greek restaurant in Malibu, California, that literally is the haunt of every celebrity that you have ever watched on TV or in the movies. They're all there. Matter of fact, the night I'm talking about, we were sitting on one side, Tony Danza, on the other side was Cher, and on the other side was David Hasselhoff of Baywatch. Incredible place. And we walked in, and it's me and my 3-year-old daughter. She's a week shy of being 4. She's blonde with little pigtails. You ever watch the Flintstones? Everyone thinks she looks like, is it Bam Bam? Or is
Pebbles.
Pebbles. There we go. Spitting image of Pebbles. Everybody loves her. You walk in, the owner wants to dance with her. The guy who plays the guitar wants to dedicate a song to her. The guy in the kitchen comes out to ask if he can make a special meal just for Dakota. The waiters and waitresses are fighting. Who's going to take care of our table? They all love Dakota. So I looked at the scene in front of me. They're not looking at Cher. They're not looking at David Hasselhoff. They're looking at Dakota. And I'm thinking, this is unbelievable. So I said to my daughter, you know, you're like the most famous celebrity in this whole place. you think it's because you're so beautiful? She says, no, Daddy. I said, you think it's because you're so wonderful? No, Daddy, you're embarrassing me. You think it's because you're so smart? No, Daddy. I said, well, why do you think it is? And she says, I think it's because you spend so much money in here. And if you're wondering how it's possible, it's a true story, that a girl that's a week shy of being 4 years old could come up with that connection, that money is, what life is all about. I mean, we know family is number one, but after that, boy, money helps a lot. Success helps a lot. And she figured this out because she is homeschooled. And she spent her life, the day she was born till today, at the age of 16, she spends her life around her mom and dad. And that's an incredibly special thing. And I want to tell you about a special girl, because all of you got to remember this name, Dakota Root. First of all, she is a future Olympian. She's one of the world's best fencers. And she, since literally, I've written 7 books, and all 7 books in them, again, is that topic of belief. All 7 books, starting in 1996, when she was 4 years old, all 7 books have a comment and acknowledgments about how Dakota Root is the apple of my eye, and I love her so much. She's my daughter. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And that she is going to someday go to Stanford University, and she's going to get in on a scholarship, a sports scholarship, because her dad won't have to pay. So that was my goal. And so here it is all these years later, and guess what? She's looking now at going to Stanford or Harvard on a fencing scholarship. So it's been an incredible journey, and if you know the way Stanford works, literally Stanford, Harvard, Columbia, all these great schools, Princeton, they're all looking at Dakota now, and literally 20,000, 30,000 kids applied, and they let in 500. But here's what you got to know. All 30,000 that applied are valedictorians in their class. All 30,000 have knocked them out scores in their SATs. And Dakota was scared. She was worried. I said, listen, don't worry about it. You're homeschooled. You're 10 grades ahead of everybody. When she was literally 12 years old, she took the Stanford Series 7 exam that all 6th graders in the country take. And I looked at her report card, and it came back in every category, PHS, PHS, PHS. And I thought, what does that mean? And I looked up in the table of contents. PHS means post-high school. Post-high school, 6th grade. You got to understand the point of the story is that Las Vegas, where I'm from, most of the kids who graduate their senior years of high school aren't post-high school. Most of them go on to college and they take remedial courses in their first year of college because they just pass them on through. So I'm not here to tell you anything other than the fact Dakota's not the most special girl in the world. Homeschooling, I believe, is the most special form of education in the world. And if you happen to know, Dakota just got back from Germany and Austria, her first trip overseas, representing